This is the second in our series of Characters of Fitzrovia, and we are in the shop of Paul Kitsaros, one of the remarkable people who work in Fitzrovia. His tailoring shop in Cleveland Street is visited by people from all over the world. I have been friends with Paul for, gosh, Paul, I think, what, 20 years we've been friends? At least. And it's just incredible to watch him at work. He's an artist. I find it quite incredible to see him at work. And not only that, he is the hardest working person in Fitzrovia, apart from me. And Jaxie. Yeah. But Paul, I feel terrible. I know how busy you are with all these things, but could I just ask you, how long have you had this shop in Fitzrovia?
Since 98.
98?
Yeah.
98, okay. And what brought you to Fitzrovia?
Well, I used to come next door, and it happened to my lease in Paula Street finish, and I used to come from friends from a restaurant next door, which was Maple restaurant. And as I later came out, and I saw a sign of this shop. So got touch with the agents, Louis, to come and see it. And when I came up, we opened and see it was a lot of mess, but I liked it. And I said, around here is like a village, beautiful village. You know what I mean?
That's so lovely, Paul. Yeah, all the neighbours. Yeah. And lots of Greek Cypriots. Yeah. Where were you born, Paul?
In Cyprus.
In Cyprus. Yeah. And how many, I mean, I know Marula across the road and Aris. Do you remember Aris?
Yeah, I remember.
Who lived there in Holcroft Court. It's a really big Greek Cypriot community, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's a wonderful community and such a great culture.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how many Greek Cypriot restaurants are left around here now?
Yeah. Well, I think, no, I think all gone.
Yeah, Four Lanterns.
It's salty.
Yes.
Albanian people. But it's still Greek.
It's still Greek, yeah. Do you go there?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But the restaurant here, it was Turkey, Greek, was Turkey. Now try to do Italian, but they are going to be Turkey again.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Very few around.
Yeah. And Paul, who taught you to do this? It's just so incredible, making a suit. I had no idea just the complexity.
1960 when I came here.
1960,
yeah.
1960. Yeah, when you were a baby.
Yeah, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
My parents sent me to Camden Town for the relation, so I can learn tailoring.
Yeah.
I stayed for a year. I went to West, I met some friends, and they invited me to go to Soho.
Yeah, in Soho.
Their uncle, and listened to that. So I left Camden Town and I went in Soho and learned there. And then I decided to learn to do jackets by myself. I pushed myself and I learned everything.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was a man business to learn everything.
Yeah, so you
do my own business.
Yeah, so you always wanted to have your own business. And I mean, Paul, you must be very proud of what you have achieved.
I am.
Because I know, obviously we can't mention names, but people telephone from all over the world. People come and visit from all over the world to see and to get a suit made by you. No, amazing, Paul. I mean, people come from all over the world.
Something?
Yes. Oh, I love your thimble, Paul. It's so nice to see a thimble. There's no shop like this in Fitzrovia. This is the real deal. Amazing. What are you showing us?
This.
Oh my gosh, Bill Clinton!
This was a customer of mine.
Wow!
Street.
Wow! Amazing. Yep. So the rich.
About 60, 70 suits.
How many?
This one.
60. 60 to 70 suits. How can one person have so many
He
suits?
used to come from Boston. He's a professor of
Yes.
languages.
Yes. Wow. No, well, I mean, people do come from all over the world. You're very famous.
Yeah, they do.
And I know also,
And I
Paul,
believe I might make...
Bill Clinton, yeah, he needs a...
He brought me some jackets and trousers, old,
Yes.
to copy them. And I got a feeling one belongs to him.
And it was for Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I don't know,
Amazing,
but he never
Paul.
told me.
But you are such, well, he couldn't. We have to be very discreet about some of your famous customers. But, and look at
That's
this.
his wife. That's his house
Wow.
in Boston.
In Boston. And you made all these amazing suits.
If you read
Beautiful.
here also,
What
he
does it
collapsed
say?
and died at Heathrow. I
Oh,
took it to Heathrow to go to Boston.
yes,
And
yes.
when I left, he collapsed and died.
Oh,
Heart
gosh.
attack.
Gosh. In Heathrow.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
25 years.
Anyway, well, you made him happy with all those suits.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
happy, yeah.
And Paul, I know that other tailors from central London often send you their suits because your reputation is so good. And I mean, if you look here, just the quality, you're learning from Paul, are you? Oh, wow. It's really, it's such an astonishing thing to see this all happening. Oh, Paul.
Yeah.
And then, do you still love what you do?
Of course I do.
Yeah, yeah. And it must be really so, you must feel so proud that as a young 15-year-old boy,
I haven't
you have achieved,
learned something.
in the heart of London, you have achieved something and you are famous all around the world. I mean, it's a really wonderful
I
thing.
go to Amsterdam a lot. I mean, Germany, in Berlin,
Yeah,
and Munich. I used to go a lot.
yeah.
But this virus is so
But there's not that many handmade, bespoke shops left, because I was just down to Mr. Cleverley, who makes shoes, George Cleverley, and they do bespoke shoes. And he said that he is the only one left now that hand makes the shoes. And you know, in a world of sort of ready-mades, it's so beautiful to still have these handmade things, the wonderful quality of the fabric. And I know when Matthew got his suit, you were so helpful with the fabric.
Of course.
Yeah. But Paul, why do you love Fitzrovia? Why here? Just
The people, they're good, they're nice people, they're friendly, you know what I mean? And it's somehow the area, it makes you to love the area, you know what I mean? It looks like a small village. I remember my village in Cyprus, so it's like this.
oh, Paul, that's so lovely. Yeah, yeah. That's so lovely. I feel the same way. And do you remember when we were watching the Euro Cup and you bought me an Aperol Spritz in the bar, and I turned around and went, oh, who bought me that? And it was Paul. That was so fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, Paul, that's fantastic. And then how did you get this young gentleman to work for you? Tell us about him.
He was working in Victoria, somebody.
He was working with who?
Somebody in Victoria.
In Victoria, yeah.
In common Redwood fella.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it was happening, I was not there to see.
Yeah.
They sent it to me. It's been with me now 5 years.
I know, I know. So, Jaxie, what made you start making suits?
It was by chance, really, because I studied a science degree. I studied pharmacology to BSc and an MSc level. And that's the route I was going to go into in the pharmaceutical industry. But as soon as I got involved with it, I realised it wasn't for me.
It looks like you're doing something really scientific now, Jaxie.
No, just a bit of water, just a bit of steam.
What? You have to do that? Really?
This
This iron is unreal.
Yeah, it's a very heavy iron.
Oh my God, I didn't think they still made things like that.
Yeah.
Why don't you have like a new iron?
The weight of this iron helps with the kind of cloth we use. And I'm just used to it. I think it's what Paul uses it. He got me involved with it, and
So do you think your science degree helps, or you sort of like just the scientific aspect of making a suit?
Making a suit in a very technical way, maybe in a scientific way, and I'm trying to balance the way Paul works and the way I work, and kind of marry the two.
Do you work differently?
Our outlooks are different, so
yeah.
But his way is really the right way. It's just that my mindset's different, so.
How? That's really interesting because I think all great businesses have that kind of left-right brain.
Yeah,
I see
true.
left-right there. But so
I think it's a case of Paul. He just attacks the problem head-on. He doesn't think about the consequences in a positive way.
Yeah.
So whereas I overthink, and so.
That's so
interesting. The two work together. So there are times when he does need to think, and I'm there for that. And the times when I overthink and it slows me down, and I need to take on board how he works.
How can you overthink a suit? Don't burn it. I'm really worried.
I can leave that there for a minute.
Really? I'm like, oh my God, this is like £1 million suit.
How can you overthink a suit? If you're a perfectionist, maybe that's what it is. Maybe if you're a perfectionist, you can overthink something and time's ticking. Whereas it might be a simple solution, or it might be just a case. Because with tailoring, it's a lot with feel. Yeah. You have to feel the cloth. You have to feel the stitch. There's a lot of feeling, and so if you're overthinking and not feeling, you're kind of losing out. Yeah. I think anyway. Yeah. But that's the way I am.
And you love it. So you love it. So every day you guys are here morning, noon and night. I mean, what are your hours? It's like there are no hours. I've seen you late at...
you can get in, if I'm not doing anything in the morning, I could be here from 7:30, but it's usually about 9:30. Yeah. And then we leave about 7 really.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a labour of love really. It's a passion. Yeah, it's really a passion.
So do you feel really proud when you see someone come in their suit?
Definitely.
And it looks beautiful and...
Reception to the product. Even when it comes to research, and like with Matthew, researching the cloth, researching the lining, looking at the cut, looking at the style, all of that before you even touch the suit, and then them coming in for fitting, and the two of us, or the three of us, discussing the problems or the solutions or what's good about it. That whole process before the product's finished is amazing. You find it amazing.
It's very creative. I mean, the way to hear you talk, you and Paul, it's like you're artists, and I've always felt that you are artists.
I'm getting there.
I really no. Well, Paul is a genius. I think Paul's a genius. But I think listening to you talk, it is like an artist, and this is like an artist studio. It's just got that kind of creativity and chaos and excitement. So when somebody comes in who is very fat or very thin, like Matthew, how can you make them look good in a suit? You really can, can't you?
You definitely can. There's definitely a suit. It's in the cut, really.
Yeah.
In the cut. If the guy you cut the pattern, he would cut the pattern.
Yeah.
For the shape, the waist might be.
That's what you have. That's so terrible.
It's definitely a mistake. So he may raise the waist of the jacket. I'm speculating because I'm still learning, but he would know exactly what to do and I'd learn off what he's doing.
So Paul can see somebody and just go, right, I know what...
His usual term is, leave the problem to me. Because he knows, I'll see the problem and he sees the solution.
What about you? Have you got a suit?
Not yet. He wants me to make one soon. Yeah, he's pushing me.
So 5 years, and I like that.
Too long, really.
A proper apprenticeship. That's really wonderful, Jaxie. It's really, really wonderful. Really so no regrets about giving up your science?
Not at all. No. In fact, I should have done it sooner because I used to work on this street and I didn't know Paul existed.
No.
Yeah, I used to work on, Middlesex House.
Yeah.
I used to work there, and I used to go home by Gooch Street, so I'd never go.
So you never came up this end? Oh my goodness!
If I had, I would have definitely come in.
How amazing!
So I was destined to come here because I started my career after uni on this street, and I've ended up on the street.
That's amazing, because same here. I wanted to open my first gallery in this street. You know, the building with the dogs outside, those stone dogs.
The ones up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I wanted to make that my first gallery. I thought it'd be so cool. But no, it seems like we're all destined to be in Fitzrovia. And do you love Fitzrovia?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was weary of central London before, but when I came here the first time, I didn't really embrace the area. I just went home straight. But coming this time around, I realised it's very much a community-led area, a community-based area. Everyone knows each other. Yeah. Like, I remember going into the chip shop and I was introduced to someone, and he happened to know who I was based on just coming by and seeing me in here. And so everyone, there's a love.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because we are literally in the middle of central London, like, you know, in a big, harsh. People would say, "Oh my God, if you live in London, no one knows each other." It's really
that's the impression I had.
Yeah, but it's not, is it? It's not. But I think Paul is like, well, he's definitely the heart of this street, don't you think?
I would definitely.
I mean, definitely. And this street's kind of a very cool street with the history of all the famous people. I think King George V used to come to this street. Matthew knows a lot of the history of this street. But it'll be nice actually when they finish building that building across the road, won't it?
Yes. I'm intrigued to see what the street.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Be like Paris.
I hope so.
Oh, but no, very good. There'll be lots more people wanting to have beautiful suits. Yeah. But thank you, Chuksy and Paul. I mean, I cannot believe just watching how quickly you work.
He's the quickest tailor as well, I believe. I've not seen anyone work.
I've never seen
anyone work.
No, I mean, this is quite incredible, just how quickly. His hands move like...
His legs as well. If I have to walk with him to anywhere, I have to keep up.
Yeah.
I'm half his age.
He's incredible. Well, he's only a young fellow, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
He's only young. God.
76.
How old are you?
76.
You're not 76.
I am.
What?
I am.
Paul, you cannot be 76. Oh my goodness.
My passport.
Wow. You're just amazing. Amazing. And still, look at that. Oh, Paul. Paul, I thought you were like 60, if that.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah. What do you eat?
Eats anything.
So does everybody.
So you are an example for working hard. That is like keeping you fit and well. Work hard and love what you do.
I like it.
Yeah, he does love what he does.
Yeah. I love watching him work. I think he's just extraordinary.
A lot of skill in that little hand of his.
Yeah, and very modest too.
Yeah.
Very modest. Oh, Paul, it's just such a pleasure to see you, and thank you very much for thank you so much for speaking to us today. Paul, of course, is such a wonderful tailor that when local author and my husband, Matthew Sturgis, was having his book launch of Oscar Wilde, A Life, we asked Paul to recreate the suit that Oscar was wearing. And this is purple corduroy, and Paul made a lovely little green handkerchief to echo the green carnation that Oscar wore when he was arrested. And Matthew, can you show the lovely lining, the green lining? And Matthew, what's it like to wear this suit?
It's the most delicious experience wearing this suit. Paul did such a great job, because I've got barely any figure to work with. I'm so thin, but even so, he structured it so that it's a very, very handsome piece of suit making indeed.
It looks wonderful. It really does. Thank you.